Okay. Hello and welcome, or welcome back. Today I wanted to talk about the TV shows that carried me through 2020. The TV shows that made my life worth living this year. We all are very aware that 2020 has not been the year, has not been it. I will be making a video next week on this topic, having just like an honest conversation about 2020. Subscribe if you're interested. Okay, let's get into it. I'm going to talk about these TV shows. Are they TV? Is it TV if it's on a streaming service? Or whatever, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to talk about the shows kind of chronologically in the order that I watched them this year. So let's get started. Starting off big, Killing Eve. So Killing Eve has won multiple awards, is very, very good. The third season of Killing Eve came out this year. Last year, when season 2 finished, I listened to the soundtrack for Killing Eve for like months afterwards and nothing else, because I was so wrapped up in the characters. Essentially, Killing Eve, it's like cat and mouse. Jodie Comer plays Villanelle, a female assassin. Why do I have to say female? An assassin. And then Sandra Oh. She's a secret agent and is trying to like hunt down Villanelle. Becomes obsessed with Villanelle. Villanelle becomes obsessed with her. It's like they're obsessed with each other, but also they hate each other, but also they love each other, but also they want to kill each other. There's a lot of tension. Season 3, obviously I loved it because that show is my life, but I don't think it was actually as good as past seasons, although it did make me bawl my eyes out. So, you know, I love it so much. Villanelle, everything about her, her outfits, the character arc, the character development, Sandra Oh's character development, just, it's so good. It's so good. I love it. I'm going to call the BBC out for one moment. If this was a show with a man and a woman as the leads, they would have for sure had more like romantic / intimate scenes by now. And in Killing Eve, there's been minimal to nothing. And that's on homophobia. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, 100% worth a watch, was heavily a part of my life this year. Next, so this is a bit of an unlikely one, but The Crown. I'm not really the type of person, I don't really care about the royal family that much, but at the time I was doing a little acting course and I wanted to watch something that I knew was like really high quality TV, and so I watched The Crown. And I only watched the first 2 seasons with the young cast. I haven't watched the rest of it yet, but wow, I have so much respect for the Queen, for Queen Elizabeth. I don't even care if that narrative is true or not. It's just really powerful to see the Queen put in a light where she's actually quite a strong woman who had to deal with a lot during that time. That was, you know, it was basically just men telling her what to do and her trying to navigate that. The whole thing with her sister, just really hard, really sad. Anyways, I just think like everything about that show is really, really high quality. I have respect for the Queen now. I know like my opinion of the Queen, it really matters. Like Queen Elizabeth, she's so glad that she now has my approval to exist. So the next show that carried me through 2020, this is a bit random, but it's called Terrace House. It's like a Japanese reality TV show, and for some reason, I couldn't stop watching it. Terrace House is like kind of a mix between Big Brother and The Bachelor, but like make it Japanese. It's not as dramatized and over the top as like either of those shows. Can't remember how many people go into a house. They have every season's at a different location and they basically just live there, but they're not trapped there. Like they're allowed to leave, they're allowed to go to their daily life and like do their jobs and whatever, but they all live in the same house, and like a lot of people are trying to make romantic connections and just suss things out, and then they can decide to leave at any time, and like then they'll bring a new person in. So it kind of just keeps going like that until the show's over. I think one of the best parts about this show is, so they have like a group of people that do commentary on the people in the house. They're like TV presenters and comedians and like models and stuff like that, you know, TV personalities. And they just all sit in a room and watch the show and then it cuts to them every now and then and they give their commentary, make jokes about it, and like, I don't know, it's really good. It's sort of like, okay, mix Big Brother, The Bachelor, and Gogglebox. That's what it is. Next show is also Japanese. I'm only going to say this title one time because I feel weird saying things in Japanese. Like, I don't know if I'm saying it right or not, so I'm just going to say it one time. Kakegurui. Is that how you say it?
Kakegurui.
So it's anime. So the premise is that there's this high school, but it's a gambling high school, okay? And like, I guess everyone's like popularity and like the social hierarchy is based on how good you are at gambling. Okay, here's the thing. It's not just like normal gambling. Like, people are so extreme with what they gamble. So this new girl comes to the school, Yumiko, and she very quickly falls into the whole gambling thing and like is really good at gambling. If you can be good at gambling, like, anyways, she is. She's very good at like picking up the tricks, and it's just so dramatic. It's so extreme. People are betting their fingernails, their lives, with like bullets in a gun. It's just so extreme, and I just feel like live action, normal TV can't like portray the extremeness that anime can, because it's animated and you can make things more extreme. Also, I will say this show was like very gay whilst also not being gay at all, but it definitely was. Like, nothing outright happened between characters, but I don't know, man, you just gotta watch it. The stuff that, it's interesting. It's very interesting. But yeah, it's good. I really liked it. It's definitely left a hole in my heart. Like, there is no other show that is like it, as far as I know. If you know a show that is like it, let me know, because I'm hanging out for it. Next is Dirty John. I watched the first season whenever it came out a couple of years ago or last year or whatever, but this year the new season of it came out, and it's not related to the last season, it's a new story. It's about a woman who gets a divorce from her husband, and it's the story of how their marriage fell apart and then what happened and how it escalated. Both characters do things that are wrong, the husband and the wife, but also both you can see the justified side of those actions, and you can also see why they are wrong. Everything that happens is a double-edged sword, and I find it really interesting because I feel like it's more reflective of real life. Like, nothing is really black and white. But I really felt for the woman who was getting the divorce, seeing everything happening to her. But yeah, the outcome's very interesting. If you have watched it, let me know what you thought. Okay, next show that I was obsessed with was Ratchet. I did review it in my horror film review video. I'll put a link. I really liked it. Firstly, I think Ryan Murphy produced it or directed it. I can't remember, but I love his style. Netflix really does the most to like make things more inclusive and include LGBTQIA plus characters, and we stand that. We love that. It was really great to see Sarah Paulson play a character that was true to her, and just the costumes and like the production and the colours. I said this in my other video, but like, still not over the colours. I don't know if they'll ever bring out another season, but I really hope they do. I watched it all in one weekend, so it didn't really actually constitute a large part of my 2020, but it's still in my head, still in my heart. Next up, something I'm still not over yet, Shira. Shira. Okay, Shira is an animated show on Netflix. This is the most inclusive animated show I've ever seen in my life. I don't even know if anyone on that show is straight. I loved how identity and sexuality and all of that sort of thing, it wasn't like put at the forefront of the show. That wasn't important. It was just a part of the characters, and the plot was the plot, and the characters were just themselves. Does that make sense? My favourite characters are Katya, and then also Entrapter. I love Entrapter. She's so cute. Very brief plot. The bad guys called the Horde, and then there's like the princesses and the good and like the civilians and all that, and the Horde, they're trying to get rid of all the princesses and like take over the planet. They have recruits, and they were like kind of taken as babies and then raised to be in the Horde army. And one of them, who is the main character, Adora, escapes the Horde, finds out she's actually a princess and actually the world's fate relies on her. And it's like, it's very like superhero, space, superhero, you know, good guys fighting bad guys, but also bad guys becoming good guys. And there's, yeah, great job. It's a light watch until you get to season 5, and then it's not light anymore. I cried almost every episode of season 5. It's really one of the most wholesome, genuinely interesting and inclusive shows I've ever seen. If you're looking for something to like restore your soul, watch Shira. Okay, the last thing on my list is not like a TV show per se. It's not a Netflix show. It's a YouTube show, and it is Trixie and Katya's YouTube show. The name of it, it's just called, that's the name, UNHhhh. They're so funny. They were on like season 7 of RuPaul's Drag Race. There's something about them together that really, they're so good together. They're like yin and yang. I love them both so much. By the way, they do so many things on YouTube. Like, they have endless content you can consume. But they have that show, which is my favorite thing. The editing is just so hilarious. It's like a 15-minute, normally 10 to 15-minute show where they just talk about different topics. I relate to both of them so much in different ways. It's very easy watching, and it always just makes me feel better. Like, it really rids you of your depression temporarily. It's very, very good for that. I hope that they just continue to do this forever until they're like old crusty drag queens. It keeps me alive. It keeps me going. It's like nutrients. So, and I'm still in that phase right now. I'm not really watching anything else right now. Oh, that's a lie. I restarted watching Hannibal. Hannibal and drag queens. That's all my brain can take right now. Anyways, that is the content that has kept me not thriving, surviving 2020. If you have any recommendations, like the shows that carried you through 2020, let me know, because I'm always looking for more good content. Thank you very much for taking the time to click on this video and watch it to the end if you did. I would love it if you left a comment or liked it or subscribed to me, obviously. If you are trapped at home this Christmas and unable to see family, escapism through media is your friend. Watch some of these shows that I just spoke about. Thank you again for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good day. See ya next week. Bye.